Hey there, my name is Chris, and I'm a co-founder and the head of customer success with Proof. And in this video, I want to answer the question of why are my notifications not working? Now, I know everyone's situation is different, but I thought it'd be helpful if I kind of walk you through the framework that I use to diagnose if notifications aren't working for our Proof users. And so there are really two things that happen. Either you're not getting any conversions, or you're getting conversions and they're not displaying. Those would be the two reasons why the notifications are not working. So the first thing I'll walk through is if you're getting no conversions on your page, how to deal with that or what's going on there. So what I'll typically do is I'll click into the notification that's not working, and I'll look and I'll see if there's any activity. So if there's no activity here, that typically means there's something going on with the capture source. And so the first thing I'll check is always to check if the pixel's on that page, because without the pixel, we're actually not able to gather any information from that page. So I'll click on this capture source right here, and which will take me to that site, which again, it's working in our case because this is our home page. But the way you check to see if the pixel's on the page is you right click on that page, you click on view page source, which essentially just shows you all of the code on that page. You do a command F or a search function, and you search for proof there, and if it's active there, then you'll see 1 out of something. But if it's not on the page, it'll say 0 out of 0, and that will tell you that you need to install the pixel. So you'll go back into your account, click on the pixel install here, copy that code and put it on that page, and that will typically resolve the issue. Now, if the pixel's on the page but you're still getting no activity, there could be something going on with the capture from URL. And so remember, when you use the capture URL, it needs to have the form on the page where you're collecting at least an email address. So you might want to check and see, make sure the page you have set for your capture source is indeed a page that has a pixel, has a form, and you're getting at least an email address. Without any of those three things, then it will not work. So you want to go to the page, you can click on it, you can see, okay, great, the pixel's on the page, and we're collecting an email address, so now it should work. And that will typically solve the issue there. Now, there are instances where you have a form on the page, you're getting the email address, the pixel's on the page, but it's still not working. And this is where sometimes you might run into something that's called an iframe. So essentially what an iframe is when you embed a form onto your existing website. And so even though, like I'll go to an example here, even though I click on this sign me up, I want instant access, even though it looks like this form is on this particular URL, it's actually on a different URL embedded onto your current website. And so you want to make sure that if you're using an iframe, if you're using Elite Pages, or you're embedding a form onto your site, you want to actually make sure you use the URL of that form, not of that page. So I can right click onto this form here, and you'll see here view frame source. So it's different than what we had before because it just said view page source. So now we know that this form is indeed a iframe. So I'll click on that, and then at the top you'll get another URL. In this case it's a lead box, and so you take that URL, which is .leadpages.co, serve lead box, kind of whatever it is for your URL there, and you want to make sure that that is the URL you put into the capture source, not the one from this main website, but that frame source URL. And you can again go to our help center, help.useproof.com, search for iframe, and it'll kind of walk you through how to do that. But you want to make sure that the capture URL is set for the iframe if you're using that, because if you have it set for the main URL, but you're using iframe, it won't capture because there's actually no form on that main page. It's on the iframe page. So you want to make sure you have that set right. Now you also want to make sure that the proof pixel is on that lead page or that iframe as well. So if I go to view source, view page source, or view frame source, I do another command F or a search function. I can search for proof here, and you'll see 1 out of 7, the proof pixel's on that page. Great. So now the proof pixel's on that page. I have the capture source now set to be on that iframe URL, not the main URL, and that will typically fix most issues of why the notification is not working. So again, if you're not getting any activity, make sure that the capture source has a form on the page, make sure the pixel's on that page. If you're using iframe, make sure that the capture URL is the iframe URL and that the pixel's on that iframe as well. So that's kind of one way to check it out that way. Now the other thing that might happen if it's not working is if you have activity in your account, but it's not actually displaying on your page. So maybe you have a lot of conversions here, but it's not displaying. Again, the next thing you want to do is just click on these two pages that you're displaying on and make sure the pixel's on that page. So again, click on the page here, and then you'll go to here, right click, view page source, and then search for proof, and then make sure the pixel's on the page. Because again, if you're getting activity but it's not displaying, 9 times out of 10 it's because the pixel is not placed on that display URL. So those would be the steps I typically take that will almost always fix the issue if the notifications are not working on your page.